Hello and welcome to the Long Island Weather Report. Yeah, we got a little snow here on Long Island here. Coating, generally a coating, less than an inch, but enough to cover pretty much a lot of the ground. And I couldn't resist just going to the pines for just a little bit and looking at some of it. And it was quite pretty, actually. Even though we had cloudy skies, clouds for the most part were sticking around. See some really nice scenery here. I love when you have a freshly fallen snow. It's just a little bit of a coating. And actually, to show you something else too, show you what it was like, because the snow was really coming down at times today. I forgot to load that one. Just bear with me. Yeah, I always forget to load a picture, and I gotta go looking for it. But yeah, this is what it looked like around 1 o'clock today. We had a decent, moderate snow that came down here. It was mainly light, but that was the most intense period, as you can see here. Yeah, it was coming down pretty nicely, actually. Yeah, it was, and then we had some breaks in the clouds in the afternoon. You can see a couple of breaks, and it was in and out of the clouds, back in the clouds again, and then kind of, hey, there was some ice on the lake here. Very beautiful. Very beautiful. And we had some of that altocumulus around. So, yeah, but the clouds have kind of thickened back up again as we're dealing with, you can see there's another little wave of snow that's mainly moving across Jersey. And that's where the heavier snow obviously fell. And we're going to talk about those snow amounts now. So let's see if no snowfall reports on this. All right. I think they got us. You can still see a winter storm warning, too, for the southern part of New Jersey, including Burlington County, because it's still snowing there. And it looks like they have areas of blowing snow for tomorrow as well. So let's see if we can get some snowfall reports here from this site here. They should have a snowfall reports here. All right, so here we go. Here's the snowfall reports as of 1 p.m. This is earlier. Atlantic City got 4 inches. Philadelphia 1.8. Trenton 1.8. Full list of reports. So we're going to go to the full list here, meaning that it's mostly the Mount Holly area that got impacted. You can see Kent County in Delaware. That's where the higher amounts are. 8+. That's your winter storm warning criteria. Look at Sussex County, Delaware. Delaware Coastal Airport, a foot of snow as of 2 p.m. And, of course, they probably picked up a little more. So these are the areas that really got hit hard. As far as New Jersey goes, Atlantic County, southern part of New Jersey, like Venter City, 7 inches. That was as of 10:21 a.m., so they probably got more than that. Atlantic City International, 4.5 inches. Certain areas further south got a lot of snow. Gretna, 2 inches, that's not that much. So as you get more into the Pine Barrens area, it's just mainly a few inches. But if you look at Cape May, again, Cape May, 8.3 inches. So those were the areas that really got hit harder. In Metuchen, 1.2 inches, so not a whole lot. And in Monmouth County, Freehold got 2.8 inches. In Ocean County, Manchester got 3 inches. Toms River, 2.1 inches. So they got a little more than us, a couple of inches, which is the most snow they've seen in a while. But considering what we got, we didn't really see all that much. So let's go back to our weather service. We'll go to a climate report and see what Islip picked up as far as snowfall goes. Probably not going to be very much. High of 32, low of 24, 5 degrees below normal for the day. And snowfall today, 0.4 inch at Islip. And I think Central Park got 0.9 inches, so let's take a look at that. So high of 30, low of 20. Look at that, just 2 degrees from the high and the low. But still, because that high of 30, that's puts us 5 degrees below normal for the day, 10 degrees below normal for the high. As far as snowfall goes, we received 0.9 inches at Central Park, so just shy of an inch. And you'll see here's the radar again. A lot of this isn't reaching the ground, but the heavier stuff to the south is, and that's where the winter storm warning remains in effect. But it's well to the south, as you see here. We've got the map here for you. Boy, it looks like we got another Santa Ana wind event in the west. I'm not going to talk about that. You can see all the winter storm warnings still in effect for the Mid-Atlantic. And here you go, winter storm warning for Atlantic County, Burlington County. North of that, we got the winter weather advisory for Ocean County. And looking at our temperatures here, 28 degrees, Miller Air Park. Light snow still falling there as well. So they maybe pick up another half inch maybe tonight with that little extra batch of snow. But as you go further south, this is where things get more interesting. Let's see if we can find Cape May, Wildwood. So this is where they've had the snow that's been heavier, as you see here. Only light snow being reported here. That was the second batch that came in, which is mainly light snow, but the heavier stuff came earlier. And you can see, look at that snow, freezing fog. So, yeah, this was some heavy snow actually being reported. Look at that, down at 0.25. So they got into the heaviest snow, but we didn't really get into that even in Ocean County they didn't. But it was a little steadier over there. And temperatures, as you see, generally speaking, we got 20s out there right now, 25 at Islip. And it's a relatively cool day with all the cloud cover and the snowfall. Yeah, we're going to be below freezing for at least a couple of days here. So the main concern, obviously, is the wind. So we're going to run over the highs and the lows, and aren't going to be that much different from the climate sites. We have gale warnings in effect from 6 a.m. Tuesday to 6 a.m. Wednesday. However, I think we might need wind advisories, and I don't know why they haven't put them up, but you'll see when we look at some of the models, some of these winds could be pretty strong, and the wind chills are going to be absolutely just vicious. You already see some winds gusting to 27, Kings Point 37 at Kennedy already. North went to 24, gusting to 37. It's funny, though, I can open my window a little bit, and still not fresh air on the alley. It smells like incense. So, yeah, it's ridiculous. Not that I'd want to, because it's really cold out there. It's really windy, and it's going to get even windier tomorrow. So that's what it looks like our current conditions right now. Let's take a look at the radar here, and you'll see, again, there's that heavier snow over Delaware. So these areas got pounded. Baltimore and Washington, that's what you got, your real winter storm there. But for us, it was just a little nice, pretty coating. Go to the Weather Prediction Center, I guess. Do that next. So here's your low that's moving away. We'll go to the surface analysis. There's your low right there. So this is the latest. You can see there is the low off the Virginia coast. That's going to continue to deepen, and when that does, that's going to pull in more cold air and also crank the winds up as well as we head into tomorrow. So let's go and look at the satellite image. And you'll see plenty of cloud cover over the area and plenty of cloud cover over here as well. So a lot of cloud cover. So I don't know why they say mostly sunny. I'm going to click on it. I'll show you. Well, they got a special weather statement now, but no wind advisory. So you can see here they just say sunny, sunny, sunny. But I think there's going to be a lot of clouds around. I think they did this last time. I mean, they've been doing this a lot where they say it's sunny and there's a lot of clouds. I'm going to click on the special weather statement. Probably in relation to the winds. No, just the snow flurries. It's related to the ice. Yeah, the roads are icy out there, so just point that out to you here. This is a picture taken this afternoon here in Deer Park, and you can see that wet road. It was wet at the time, but now the roads are freezing to ice, and a lot of the sidewalks are very slippery, so you got to be really careful out there. All right, let's go to the CONUS. So there's your storm, and you can see all this cloud cover over here. So a lot of cloud cover throughout in this whole air mass. So I don't know why they're saying, oh, it's going to be a sunny day tomorrow. I just don't see it. I see plenty of cloud cover here. So, and we're going to look at the models right now. So let's go over to them. And so there's our storm right there, wrapped up, and it's moving on out. And you can see those tight isobars over our area. I'm just going to move this to the eastern U.S. view here. So you can see those really tight isobars. Look at those tight isobars. That means a lot of wind when you see that. That's a deep low. You have the strong high but the high itself is all the way over and over the North Dakota and Nebraska. North Dakota and Wyoming. So it's a ways away from us, and we're more in that cyclonic flow with that. And then we're going to continue that. That high kind of just dives right down into Texas. So that's the problem. The high dives down to Texas. We're stuck in the wind machine. They get the clear sunny skies. We don't. We get the clouds and the wind, which is my concern here, that we're going to have that high kind of slowly moves east a little bit. But you can see you still got, because you got a block here, this low, you got a block, like I spoke about yesterday. that low is going to sit there, and you have this pressure grid, and actually tightens as the high gets closer to us on Thursday. And then Friday, we have one more dry day, I would say, and maybe a little less wind. And then the GFS has been trying to develop this very strong low pressure system over us. Now it looks like it's got the low tracking right over us and having us raining on Saturday night. But if we looked at the 12Z run, it's a little further southeast and it gives us a blizzard. And if we look at the 0Z run last night, you can see it's further south. The GFS keeps trying to form this storm here. So the GFS has been pretty stubborn on this since the 060 run. And so since pretty much most of the runs have been stubborn. But the Euro is not showing it. So I'll show you the European here. And the European remains just a flat setup. So it's not really, there's two pieces of energy, but it's not combining them. So you're hearing a lot of people talk about this storm for the weekend, but it's just the GFS that's showing it. It's just one model. Let's see. I don't think the icon has it either. Well, we have the 0Z icon, but that's not going to go far enough. This is the icon here. And you see here's the icon. The reason why is because of that northwest flow. So here's the icon. Well, the icon looks a little further north. Honestly, I think it's going to be some kind of combination between the two. That's what I think. This is as far as the 18Z goes. If we look at the 12Z, though, it's also flat like the Euro. So the Euro, but the 18Z seems to have changed a little bit. But that's as far as it goes out. But compared to the GFS, which is still much further north and tucked in, you can see that. So there's a big difference in track. But there is going to be some. The question is, do these two pieces of energy merge or do they not merge? That is the question. And right now, it's just too early to tell right now. I know a lot of people are already hyping it up. But we just don't know right now how it's all going to work. It's too early. You can see this is the GFS. Much more vigorous trough on the GFS, by the way. This is the GFS here, and we look at the European. It's much flatter. So this is the difference that you have between the two models. But with that strong storm, if we get that strong storm to develop, it's going to pull down even some colder air. If that strong storm develops, we're going to get into some. Well, this GFS doesn't want to show it now, but it was bringing in some absolutely just bitterly cold air behind the blizzard when it was developing the blizzard. So if I go to the 12Z run, I think that's the one that has the blizzard on it. You'll see what I mean. You look at that really cold air that comes in behind it for the following week. So I don't want to talk too much about long range. I do that on Sundays, but I figured I would cover that a little bit. The main story this week is just going to be the wind and that pressure gradient that we're dealing with. So actually, I'm going to keep the GFS on the screen as we deal with that, as we take a look at this. And we'll look at the HRRR too, but let's look at the dew points and wind flow for this week. First, I'm going to use this model here. So you can see dew points do drop tomorrow. We see the dew points drop. This is when we get into the Arctic air. Temperatures are going to stay below freezing. Northwest winds, and you can see that strong northwest wind continue into Wednesday with drier air. And this is, I think, maybe Wednesday would be our best chance to have some sunshine around here. And then for Thursday, we're still in it a little. We're still in this really dry Arctic air. And then it kind of eases a little bit on Friday. And then Saturday, you can see it's got that storm right over us. And that is a powerhouse storm, by the way, that it would have over us. So if we were to look at the winds, for instance, here. Let's go look at the wind here. Yeah, look at the wind from that. So that would generate a lot of wind. I mean, that is like a bomb. That's like a bomb cyclone right there. So it's pretty much what it is. Is a bomb cyclone. And this is the 12Z run, by the way. So this is the 12Z run we're looking at. I'll move it to the 18Z run, which isn't quite as strong, but it has that as a bomb cyclone. So it's something to really consider. All right, and I'll continue to stick with the 12Z run instead of the 18Z because I just think it does better. So as far as the GFS goes, so tomorrow we're not making it above freezing. By the way, when you wake up in the morning, you'll have temperatures in the upper teens. And then tomorrow we're going to struggle to the near 30. Tomorrow night we drop again with that wind, no radiational cooling, but it's still going to allow temperatures to drop into the upper teens. Same deal for Wednesday. think maybe not even make it to 30, maybe only mid-20s. Remember, there's that snow cover, which helps reflect the sunlight. Then dropping again in the teens at night, and then Thursday, similar deal. So you can see we're going to be below freezing till at least Friday, and then maybe we get into the mid-30s. But there's no really big warm up here. There's your storm right there. You can see the reflection of that storm right there. Look at that. And then the temperatures obviously would crash the week behind it there. It actually brings in some really cold. Was it? I don't think it was this run. It's one of the runs that did it. I think it was the 060. Well, let's just look at what it does at night. It gets the temperatures close to zero, even in New York City. So that's the kind of chill we're talking about. If that storm bombs out, because it'll pull down some really cold air directly from Canada. The air we're getting now is indirectly. It's not really a direct shot, which is why, even though it's cold, it's not that cold, but it feels cold because of the wind. So let's go look at the HRRR next. We'll go ahead and look at that. See if we see any differences here between the GFS and the HRRR. Just in the short range, HRRR coming in a lot drier. Look at that dry air that comes in tomorrow in the morning, but then it raises it. It kind of has it come in, and then it raises the dew points back up again a little bit, and then another shot for Wednesday. This one's a little stronger, and this one would bring in. Yeah, that's when you see that should be a clear sky. When you see the dew points that low, you should have a mostly sunny sky. You would think. Temperatures. So here we go. Temperatures tonight, again, dropping into mid to upper teens, depending on where you are. Well, again, there'll be no radiation cooling with the wind. Sky should clear by morning, and then we'll have to see what happens with the cloud cover tomorrow. But you see, we're going to struggle to make it to 30, I think, tomorrow. A lot of us might only see 20s. And again, same deal tomorrow night. Temperatures dropping to the teens, and then for Wednesday, a little bit colder, I think. Maybe only mid to upper 20s, so it's going to be even colder than that as we get into the more heart of this air mass. Let's look at, all right, now we can look at some soundings and see what's going on here with this. So we'll pick noon, which is midday, for tomorrow. And see, they say mostly sunny, but let's look at the soundings. Those lines are pretty close together. You can see that the air there's just some moisture there, and the temperatures aren't in the right spot. You have that inversion layer there and that stratocumulus deck that's going to form. So, honestly, I don't know where they get off saying sunny. Same, you see it in Jersey, too, by the way. So, I don't know where they get off saying sun. Maybe Jersey sees a little more sun, but I don't see where they get off saying that. I just don't. Not when you see a graph like that, and it's not just the HRRR that shows it as well. They're just looking at the sky cover output. They're not looking at the actual QTs. They're not looking at the soundings. And they need to. So let's look at Wednesday. Hopefully Wednesday is a little bit better. Yeah, it looks a little bit better for Wednesday. This is 16Z. Let's just pick 17Z. All right. This is 17Z, midday. Let's see. You can still see some mid-level cloudiness. Let's see Jersey. Any better there? Yeah, still seeing those lines are close together. So if you want to have a clear sky, you want those lines apart. The closer they are together, the more the likelihood you're going to have clouds. So we'll take a look at some other. So we'll go to the NAM next, and I will actually go to the NAM and we'll look at the sky cover map. And you'll see the issue. They look at this, and they're like, oh, look at that. It's not hardly showing any clouds, so it's going to be a clear day, right? And then for Wednesday, it starts off with some clouds in the morning, and then it says hardly showing any clouds. But they're not looking at the sounding. So let's go look at the 17 again for tomorrow, and I'll put it over Jersey. That line is close to that. Those two are very close to each other. All right, it's a little better than Long Island. If I click Long Island, yeah, they're practically touching. So you see that means clouds. So I don't know where they get off saying mostly sunny. I just don't know where they get off saying that. And then Wednesday, we still have to talk about the wind too, which I'll get to. But again, same deal. Wednesday Wednesday looks a little bit better in that regard. This is the 0Z NAM in that regard. It looks like maybe Wednesday we would see, again, our best chance of seeing mostly sunny skies, which should be nice. It's been over 2 weeks already. So let's go look at the RGEM for the clouds, our other cloud model. Again, the RGEM also is like, oh, great. It's going to be a clear day tomorrow. Look at that. Maybe some clouds over the east end, but I don't think so. Wednesday, again, some clouds to start and then clearing out later. And again, it shows really just Not they look at this. They don't look at anything else. You can show the GFS. See, the GFS kind of shows it up a little bit better. You can see those clouds, especially if we're going to tomorrow, I think. You can see those clouds. If I take a sounding again, I'll take a sounding over Jersey again. Look at how close those two lines are together, which is where the best chance of sunshine is. We put it over Long Island, forget about it. Those lines are so close together. So I don't know why they don't look at that. I don't know. It's supposed to be meteorologists. I don't understand why they don't. I'm not a meteorologist. I just know about how to read these things. The people are going to say, oh, it's going to be a nice sunny day. I'm going to go out there and take pictures despite the 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts. And they're going to go out there and you're going to have all these clouds popping up. That's what's going to happen. So anyway, let's talk about the wind next. You can use this as well just to show you the wind on here as well. But this is kind of misleading. That's why I don't like using that. But you can see these are sustained winds. But you can see how strong the winds are. Going in right through Thursday, and we don't really see them relax until Friday. Let's go to Ventusky. We'll go to Ventusky and windy.com and talk about these winds and why I think this should be issuing a wind advisory. It's just between the wind and the temperatures, it's going to feel maybe a wind chill advisory. We might need that too. It's going to feel like the single digits with these winds. So let's go to wind gusts here, and you'll see what I mean. So this is 11 a.m. tomorrow. And you can see there are areas where there are winds gusting over 40 miles an hour. Not so much in New Jersey, it looks like. This is 11 a.m. It gets worse as we get toward the afternoon. Jersey, you see gusts up to 35. Long Island, you're definitely gusting over 40 by the afternoon. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. These winds are just howling along here. 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts. And this is the HRRR output here on the Ventusky. We go to Wednesday. I think it's by this time, I think we're on the icon. Wednesday, it looks like it dies off a little bit on Wednesday. But then guess what happens? Thursday, it cranks right back up again. So this is what we have. And this is the Ventusky site. If I go to windy.com, which is the European, which I think actually does a better job with the winds. I think Ventusky can be too conservative sometimes. That's the HRRR. Let's go to wind gusts. You'll see what I mean. So here are the wind gusts. And again, 3 o'clock tomorrow. Look at this. Yeah, you see 40s, 46 in Riverhead. I wouldn't even be able to rule out a 50-mile-an-hour wind gust. And again, I don't know why. There should be a wind advisory in effect for tomorrow. I think with these winds, they're pretty strong. As we saw with the last wind event, some tree fell on a car in Hempstead, and luckily nobody was killed. And then you can see the winds pick back up on. They're still going on Wednesday. Gusting close to 40 still. And then Thursday, we're still stuck in this wind machine. Yeah, we're still stuck in the wind machine. So 3 days of some pretty windy conditions I think we have in store for us. Now I can also look at cloud output on this, on the European as well. So we can look at that, and you can see, look at that tomorrow's noon. You can see all the clouds that are over us. So, and then I can look at the cloud output for Wednesday. Wednesday looks a little bit better. So Wednesday definitely looks a lot better. Then by Thursday, we're kind of dealing with more clouds again, I think. But these winds definitely are going to be howling, I think. And it's definitely going to feel rough out there, sure, with these winds, the wind chills, and it's not going to be good out there, that's for sure, with these winds. These wind gusts are going to be making it feel pretty cold out there. They don't have a wind chill. I was kind of looking to see if they had a wind chill forecast, but they don't have that. I don't see that. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of wind, and we're going to kind of stuck in the wind machine. And if we pull this out a little bit, you'll see where the center of the high is. Still some clouds, but there's more clear skies over here. Again, that high is going to dive into Texas. So by Wednesday, yeah, look at that. They've got nice clear skies all throughout. So they're nice in the clear. They're in the clear air. And we're kind of on the fringe of it. That's the problem. And if I go to temperatures, you'll see that's the problem with this cold air blast. It's kind of going straight to the south almost a little bit. You can see areas in Oklahoma might be a little colder than we are, actually, or maybe just as cold as we are. But areas in Kansas definitely going to be colder than we are, like Wichita, 14, Salina, 7. So, yeah, this outbreak goes right in the Midwest. It doesn't go straight toward us, and that's part of the issue with this Arctic air outbreak in general. We need them coming out of Hudson Bay. When they come out of the Midwest, sometimes we have a tendency to have more clouds, and we don't get the temperatures as cold as like that outbreak we had on that Sunday, the 22nd. That was great. We had winds right out of the north, right out of Hudson Bay. We barely made it to the mid-20s. But when you have it set up like this, it doesn't. You can see there's a real tongue of some really cold air. So hopefully we get into some. I mean, this is Arctic air, but we're not definitely dealing with the prime Arctic air here that they're getting in the Midwest, unfortunately. So we're getting stuck with the wind and the clouds, but our temperatures are actually higher. I take it colder, less wind, and less clouds over this, but I guess we can't complain. At least it's cold. At least we have a little snow on the ground. At least it's not in the 50s, and we're having a chance of actually having a real winter this year. But still, I would like to see some sunny blue skies like I did over 2 weeks ago. It would be nice. It shouldn't be such a rare thing. Anyway, thank you for watching. Good night and stay warm.